Now I'd like to introduce our speaker today. You've all met him, but I'll just give you a bit of his background. Reverend David DiLullo has been the spiritual director of Unity San Jose since 2019. His mission is to help heal the world one heart at a time through the power of shared community experiences, spiritual tools, and teachings. He previously served as the music director for the Center of Spiritual Living San Jose and created the 40-member Global Heart Choir. He has also brought drumming, meditation, and sound healing to many spiritual communities and Fortune 500 companies. Reverend David was licensed as a minister by Unity Worldwide last year and will be ordained by Unity in July this year. So I present to you David, and David, I invite you to come on up and give us the lesson. Yes. I'm sorry.
That's okay, no problem. And if it's okay with you, we're going to do one more song first. Have you heard about I Am So Grateful, or the Gratitude Song by Karen Drucker? Let's do that one. Ron's going to give us a hand, and Laura and I, and please sing along. Love this song. Oh, no problem.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Well, good morning again, everyone, and good morning to everybody on Zoom. How are you feeling today? Good. It's so good to be here. I'm talking about consciously creating today. And the reason why consciously creating is because much of what we may be thinking or creating is unconscious, subconscious, or unintentional. And if you believe the scientists when they say we have probably 60,000 thoughts a day, you can imagine, all right, if we have all the negative thoughts in a pile over here, and we have all the positive thoughts in a pile over here, maybe we have 20,000 negative thoughts a day, and maybe 10,000 are in the middle, and maybe we have 30,000 positive thoughts, maybe? I mean, so each of us has a different count, right? And they say that if you pay attention to those negative thoughts, they are really just repeating some of the same things over and over again. And they are messages that are anything but affirming. They are messages of lack and limitation. They're messages of worrying, of the same old things. And they're these repeated messages that perhaps maybe some of us have been telling ourselves since we were young. And maybe they're subconscious. Maybe they're programmed into us. Maybe they're just assumptions from when we look out at Facebook and we see this is the way I need to be successful. That's not true. That's not true. So how do we create and consciously co-create, getting in a space of building this pile of positive thoughts over here? Because in unity, we believe that changing our thinking changes our lives, so our thoughts are consequential. So one way to do that is through the unity principles, and I'm going to have Ben put up this slide. The 5 unity principles, some of you may be very familiar with them, and others not so much, but either way, it's really good to review and revisit and rework those principles. And this is not written anywhere. This is my interpretation, my quick interpretation of unity principles in a nutshell. And it just so happens to be any New Thought church you're in, such as Agape or CSL or Unity, these principles are consistent. They have some variants, but they all include these principles. And the first one is God is all there is. God is all there is. It's the foundation. And the second one is I am what? I am God, or I am divine. And the third one is I create my very existence. I create my experience with my thoughts and more. The next one is I connect with the God of my understanding through prayer and meditation and other spiritual practices. This whole service is a spiritual practice. It's that we're coming here to connect with the God of our understanding. And then finally, I act. We need to take unity principles and our beliefs and bring them out into the world through our thoughts, words, and actions, and make a difference not only in our own lives, but in the world. So those are the unity principles. And one more slide, Ben. I'm going to focus on the first 3 because they are foundational, and each one builds upon the other. The first principle, God is all there is. So every prayer in unity begins, after the relaxation part, begins with centering ourselves in the God presence. You're also going to find that in any New Thought church. It's foundational, just to sit and just say, hey, no matter what, it's all about God. It's all about God, and God is in everything. And that's the reason why we say there's only one presence and one power active as the universe and as my life each week, to really keep on reestablishing that grounding. And it's the God known by many names, contained by, the idea of God is so big that no one religion can contain it, right? And each person's view of God is slightly different, but it's all one God. There's not God and. There's not God and evil. There's not God and some opposing force, devil, because those things are just the lack of light, lack of awareness of God, the lack of God's light shining. Did you know in science there is no such thing as actual cold? Cold is not a thing. Cold is actually just the absence of heat. Scientists will tell you that. So it's just like this with God. God is everywhere. There's no opposing force. There's no evil. There is just a place where light is not shining and awareness is not happening right now. So, and the source, God, because it is the unlimited source, doesn't know anything. It doesn't understand anything about lack and limitation. It doesn't speak that language. We speak that language. And so divine order, divine intelligence, abundance, love, harmony, wisdom, peace, community, clarity, answers, they are all ours. And this is the first principle. Now, leading into the second principle, I am divine means that we are one with whatever qualities God is. So we too are abundance. We too are harmony. We too are grace. We too are divine intelligence. In the place that you're sitting right now, there is no more holy or sacred place than you, right where you're sitting right now. That's what we believe. God is not favoring some other place. God is all in for you. So you should be all in for God. And this principle, I like to think of this as unity itself, because it's really unification. It's unity with our divine selves. And it's unity with the world, but it's unity with our divine selves. And the thing about this second principle, I am divine, I am God, it's really our job to remember who we really are. Because we forget, we sleepwalk. How easy it is, especially on the freeway coming here, how easy it is to sleepwalk and forget, I am divine, and that person in the other car is divine. That namaste consciousness. And when we bring that little twist in consciousness to the grocery store or to whatever transaction we have with anybody in our lives, that I am God, I am sacred, and so are they, then we get to remember our divinity. There's a saying in Eastern mysticism, I forget where it comes from, but someone once told me, I believe it was Center for Spiritual Enlightenment, that says, we are it, then we forget we are it. Then we remember we are it. Okay, so we are it. That's what we've always been, but we forget we are it. Perhaps when we're born forgetting, or perhaps through our programming, we're told, maybe sometimes they say babies are perfectly aware, and then through programming they gradually forget. And then we remember to remember, and the more we remember to remember, by coming here each week, we remember to remember a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more with every spiritual practice, with every prayer, with every meditation. We remember to remember more and more who we really are. A perfect example of that is Myrtle Fillmore, when she went to that lecture in Kansas City by E.B. Weeks. She caught the vision, she caught the realization by hearing, I am divine, I am a child of God, therefore I do not inherit sickness. And she caught that vision. That vision made her remember to remember her divinity. And from there, she had the confidence to go direct to God in her mystic way and say, I'm going to go create my own spiritual practice for healing. I'm going to heal my body. And that's what she did, all based on her awareness of I am divine. I am divine. So that was a second principle exercise. So, third principle, this leads us to third principle. And that is I create my reality with my thinking and so much more. I'll get there in a minute. Because I believe we have to go deeper than surface thoughts. We have to go deeper than just saying perfunctory words. We have to go deeper than technique. We have to go to resonance. We have to go to, we have to go to energy. We have to go to feeling tone, because these are the things that speak. When they teach you how to pray in ministerial school, they say you need two things. Yes, you need technique when you're praying, but you also need what? Any guesses? Fire. Who said that? Got it. Nailed it. When you learn to pray, you need technique, but it's nothing without the fire beneath it. Why? Why would that be? It's because it's like writing a thesis that's just vanilla and bland. It's like you're reading a book and not feeling the emotion. If you're truly praying from the standpoint of fire, then that vibration is going to be matched. That feeling tone is going to be matched. So the universe responds to our resonance. Michael Beckwith says, do not lower your vibration for circumstances, people, or situations. Do not lower your vibration for circumstances, people, or situations. You have a mandate to come in and lift your vibration and govern your vibration so you can be the unique emanation of the God that you are. That's Michael Beckwith. And he calls that the law of resonance. So, you may say, hey, God, I need $1 million, and I need a 3% inflation rate, and I want to pay $3 at the gas pump, and I want this kind of an account. No. See, that's just thesis, right? What you need is something like an affirmation. So maybe let's try a few of these. Let's just say abundance is what we're looking for. Let's just go to the heart of it and repeat after me. I am open to financial freedom. Good. Beyond my wildest dreams. I have security in my life right now. Abundance is flowing in me. Abundance is flowing through me. Grace is mine. Prosperity is mine. Abundance is mine. I trust the universe completely to bring me the highest and the best right now. And so it is? Yes. So now we're vibrating. Now we're resonating. That's where we need to come from. And maybe some guiding questions along the way are, when you're searching for that something, think about the God quality of what it is that you want, and just boil it down to something that your heart can feel. Something that your heart can feel. So instead of saying, I need this bank account, I need this 3.25 loan, and I need to get this, and I need, what you need, you're going after what the heart wants. And what does the heart want? It wants to feel safe, right? In that situation, it wants choices. It wants financial freedom in that case. It wants joy. It wants to be happy. And so if we can affirm from a standpoint of those things, just past the surface thoughts, then we're making some real progress. So there's a story about my co-creation and my manifestation, if you will, using my feeling tone throughout my life. I love drumming. I loved drumming. Even before I knew how to drum, I would just drum with 2 dowels on my mom's carpet. I didn't know what I was doing. And when I made it into marching band, the marching band was full, and they said, well, we have this horn called a baritone. Anybody know what that looks like? It's this thing that you hold in front of you, and it looks like a tuba, like this, and it has someone else's spit just leaking out of it, and it's just gross. And I couldn't stand it. It was smelly, and I said, this is not me. So I said, I need something else. Well, it took 3 months for them to say, well, we have a flute. And so they gave me a flute. And that was better because there wasn't as much spit in it. But the flute, it had such a cute little carrying case, and I said, the secret is it looks kind of like a drumstick. That's why I liked it. But I know how to play the Native American flute now, so that actually followed me. But that wasn't where my heart was at the time. My heart was with drumming. And so, wouldn't you know it, a few months later, the band director, Gary Gilroy, he said, David, would you like to take a drum lesson from me? Would you like to take some drum lessons? So I took drum lessons every week from him for a year, and I made the drum line. Fast forward 3 years, and I was an internationally competitive rudimental drummer. Fast forward to college, I'm going to San Jose State. I'm teaching marching bands around the area, and I get a phone call from UCLA saying, would you like to teach and write parts for our drum line? And we'll pay for you. We'll pay your way. You just have to pass the entrance exam. Are you going to school? You want to go to school at UCLA? Oh, yes, yes, yes. I just kept on saying yes to all those wonderful things, and the universe, I think, was coming to get me. That was God's grace coming to get me because it knew of my love. I didn't have a thesis. I didn't know what affirmations were. It was just matching my heart vibration. So that drumming led me to drum circles, and drum circles led me into spiritual communities, and along the way, my love for spirit was growing and growing and growing, and I would drive my drum teachers crazy because I would always ask them, hey, what's the spiritual significance of that rhythm? And tell me about sacred drumming, and tell me about sacred ritual, and tell me more about shamanic drumming. And they didn't have the answers. So I found different drum teachers who could tell me the answers about those things because I realized what was rising in me was spirituality, and I realized that drumming was just a practice. It was a vehicle to get to God. And so what happened was drum circles became spiritual drum circles, and that's how I discovered unity. So many unity churches. That's how I brought drumming to unities and CSLs all along the West Coast. And yes, corporations, but you know something? Going to a corporation, they didn't want to be there for the spirit, but I would make them go there. But I so much loved the spiritual drum circles because it's about God. And that's how the universe responded. That's how the universe responded to me. So you don't need a thesis. You just need a feeling tone. You just need your sacred yes, if you will. And you need to keep showing up for your vision, whatever that vision is. Just keep showing up for that vision, even though you may not be able to put it into words. How do you want to show up when you walk through the doors here, when you walk through the doors at Safeway, when you walk through the doors at home? How do you want to show up? So I am complete with my talk, and I'd love to just segue into meditation. I'd love for Laura to come up. And let's put the meditation slide up, please. And just maybe get the wiggles out a little bit and just relax for this moment of meditation. Take a deep breath with me and let it out. And with each breath in, just feel your body energized. And with each breath out, just relax more and more. Just falling into the arms of God right now, just trusting into this moment. And a little bit softer on the piano as we trust into this moment. And I'm thinking about a book written a long time ago by Shakti Gawain called Creative Visualization. So as you sit here thinking about that God is all there is in your life, manifested as you more sacred than anywhere, more powerful than anywhere, manifested as you and as your life. Just be thinking about what colors you see in your mind if you're painting a picture of your life. And as you ask yourself this question, what is the highest vision for my life in this moment? What do you see visually? What is the highest vision for my life in this moment? You may see different colors, you may hear different sounds, you may just sense a different energy. And now, even if you don't know exactly what that vision is in words, you know it maybe in feeling tone. Just imagine a snapshot of yourself having already achieved that vision. Step outside of yourself and look, are you smiling? What are you doing? What is your energy in this snapshot of you? And as you grow more and more confident and you take your work into the world, and as you take your magnificence into the world, what does that snapshot look like of you and your energy? So let's breathe into that feeling tone and ask one more question. What is the highest vision for the planet right now? Regardless of all circumstances, regardless of all facts, regardless of all apparent limitations, what is the highest vision for the planet right now, regardless of whether it's technologically feasible or not? What does that look like in your painting, in your snapshots? So I'm grateful for this vision. I'm so grateful. I'm calling it blessed. I know that this vision, this energetic vibration, this resonance, this feeling tone that is God itself expressing as me will continue to grow and grow and grow as long as I keep showing up for it. So I call it blessed, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, David. You really brought it to us today by bringing in the unity principles and taking us on a nice meditation journey. So thank you. Here at Unity Spiritual Center, we are an ocean of love. Here at Unity Spiritual Center, we have an inspiring vision, an exciting mission, and compelling values by which we strive to live. Each week, we will join together in saying one of our statements. Please join with me in saying this week's statement, which is on your screen. Our mission is, we are a creative, joy-filled spiritual community dedicated to healing, inspiring, and transforming the lives of all people through prayer, education, and love.
And in this space, feeling inspired by our vision, mission, and values, and feeling enriched by what we've experienced here today, let's take some time now to be a channel for that abundance that we were speaking of earlier through our generous tithes and love offerings. And as Laura shares a piano solo, you are invited to support our congregation with a check made out to USC, or cash, or by making a donation online. If you are here in the sanctuary, the ushers will come forward to take your offering. Practicing the principle of tithing ourselves as a spiritual community, we are pleased to tithe 10% of our offering collected every Sunday to various Unity organizations that make an impact to local nonprofits serving our city. Let us now take a moment to bless our tithes and love offerings as we hold them in our hands or next to our hearts. And let's say our offering blessing, which is on your screen. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. Thank you again, Laura, for sitting in for Michael today. That was a beautiful solo. So I'd like to bless the love offering. Spirit of the living God, bless the acts of our hands, our minds, our hearts. May everything offered here at Unity Spiritual Center be a reflection of all that is good within us. Grant us the courage to patiently listen for the stirring of your presence. Enliven our spirits with humor. Fill us with reverence for one another and gratitude for our diversity. May unity, beauty, and truth be the fruit of all we do. And so it is. Amen.